Quick tutorial on validating AMP using Screaming Frog. So just jump right in. The first step to validating your AMP pages using Screaming Frog is going to be to adjust your spider configuration. And you're going to want to make sure you have extract AMP links and crawl AMP links checked off. These are not checked off by default in Screaming Frog, so you'll need to do this. Just go ahead and click OK. And just as you always would, you'll start your crawl. And as the crawl is happening, we can jump over to the AMP tab where we're going to see just AMP pages pull in here. So just to begin with at a high level, this is a really good overview of each page, the title tag, the heading tag. So in some cases you may have cloned pages in WordPress or used a plugin of some sort. So it's a good way to just quickly eye your title tags and heading tags to make sure that the AMP content is relevant to the page URL itself. So a lot of times we'll just kind of spot check things here. But really the best part of this, and I'll just stop my crawl for a second for this part, is to use these different filters. So Screaming Frog has set up a bunch of filters which have common AMP errors to help you identify potential issues. So things like an AMP page not firing a 200 response code, or the canonical not being on the AMP page. So typically with AMP, your canonical URL is going to be sort of that parent URL, the non-AMP version. Other things like whether the AMP page is indexable. So technically AMP pages are set to non-indexable. The other things like whether it's missing specific AMP tags that are common, like head tag, body tag, that kind of things. So you get all sorts of potential error codes here that you can look out for. And at the same time, you get the ability to export, use the export tool here. You can export everything if you'd like to. Otherwise, you can just export some of the different problem areas. So if you do have a website, you could export in bulk and pass that along to your developer. So it's a great tool, really easy to just get a quick glance at all your AMP content and identify some big issues. Enjoy.